Hello and welcome to our next 7am update, when we're going to talk about our next innovation. So Tom, over the years, what I've found is that many professional planners and advisors have been really frustrated by some of the shortcomings of the range of facilities they can offer, particularly with regard to banking products. Have you been hearing the same?
There's an opportunity that's presenting itself for the upper end of the financial planning market right now.
What's that, the sort of private banking end or something like that?
The private banks, generally speaking, and this is generally speaking, below about 10 million don't always do a great job for their clients. And from an investment perspective, the service that they get is average. The charging that they get is high.
Yeah, and fairly opaque.
Yes, and tiers of it, but we all know that. And lately, with the press that banks in general have gotten, the opportunity for the upper end of the financial planning world to attack the, shall we say it, the bottom end of the private banking clientele is quite strong.
No, you're not talking about here providing full banking services. We're really just talking about two main areas, aren't we? Sort of loans and deposits, yes?
Right now, what we're going to do is the simplest of all investment management capabilities, cash. And we've teamed up with a couple of people.
So these are fixed-term deposits then with various banks. Is that the idea?
They are a fixed term. The fixed terms would be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, some 24 and some 36-month deposits. And there'll be a combination of fixed and floating rates. And they'll be provided by Lloyd's, RBS, and Santander, so 3 very large names.
But how have you selected those? I mean, just because they're 3 large banks?
We wanted to select banks, in the case of Lloyd's and RBS, that had a good piece of government ownership to them. And Santander is also systemically important. So the safety of assets has always been a very strong concern from 7IM, and we wanted to make sure that that was reflected in the selection of banks that we had.
And what are the safety levels for these? Because what sort of amount is actually guaranteed? Is this the usual guarantee that an individual will get with a deposit account?
Yes, it's the same kind of guarantees that they would get if they went directly to the bank. So each individual customer gets the level of guarantee from the protection scheme, not 7IM in the aggregate. So each customer gets their own level of guarantee.
So as far as the planner is concerned, the banking is an integral part of the rest of the investment package then, is it?
Well, it's the most basic need. I mean, if you look at the kind of things that we do from an investment management perspective, we tell people that it's good for the medium to longer term. Well, that's great. What do you do in the very short term if you have a short-term need? And the simplest of all answers is cash management in the form of deposits.
But they can then see it all in one place. Is that the idea?
Yes, we're doing this through the 7IM platform. And what we've been told by a number of the financial planners that we work with is that administering deposits for them is administratively difficult. They have to call 3 different banks to get 3 different rates for due diligence purposes. The applications are paper-based. There's conversations on the phone. There's snail mail going back and forth. And the financial planners earn very little from it. So what we've done is we've automated all that and made it just like entering an order on the platform.
So they get a service which is simpler to use. Do they actually earn any income out of this?
The default pricing that we have gives 10 basis points to the IFA, and the platform will take 20 basis points from the gross rate that we get from the bank. But of course, we can negotiate an institutional rate with the bank. So for example, at 12 months, one of the banks will be paying 3% to the customer, and that's after the platform takes 20 basis points and the IFA takes 10 basis points.
Why should the platform get 20 basis points?
For all the administration work that we're doing and the risk that we're taking in handling the orders.
Okay. And are the deposits, when they are fixed time deposits, can they be broken?
No. No. Once you've entered into one of these deposits, then just as if you had gone straight to the bank, because effectively you are at the bank here, even though it's been reflected on the 7IM platform, the money is actually at those banks, and it is a deposit with that bank. So no, you can't break it.
Right, so online access, online reporting, and the opportunity potentially to get a stream of income off it, and hopefully reducing some of the administration work. Is that the package?
That's the package, combined with a range of banks, starting with 3, and over time we'll probably add a few more.
Obviously rates are going to change over time, but could you just give us an idea of roughly what sort of rates you could get at the moment?
Yeah, as we said before, the 12-month rates from one of the banks will pay about 3% to the customer. Obviously, the shorter-term rates will pay a little bit less, and the 24 and the 36 months will be a little bit higher. Right now, the floating rate terms appear to be a little less attractive because the central bank has come out and said that they're not going to raise rates for a good while. Right. When that changes and when we move to an environment where there is an expectation of rising rates, right, you then might want to switch from fixed rates to floating rates because you'll then be able to take advantage of rising rates as and when we hit that environment.
So it'll give you a choice, and hopefully a broader choice as we get more banks signed up in due course.
Indeed.
Well, thanks, Tom. I hope you find that useful. I think that's a really fascinating innovation. If you'd like some more information, then please do contact your relationship manager directly. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Thank you.